Sent from Disneyland, history in our hand. So much to say about yesterday and the decades we have spanned. Postcards from the park, this journey will embark. See what has changed and what remains on Sent from Disneyland. Sent from Disneyland.
Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland, Disneyland history, and more, with mementos, snapshots, souvenirs, and postcards sent from Disneyland, from 1955 to the present. Let's start by thanking my patrons from patreon.com. You can join in at any level to support the show and receive snail mail from my trips to Disneyland and from my desk, plus some sneak peeks and bonus content. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the rest of the e-ticket patrons, Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Bill Dreffel, Scott Cagle, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Angela Reynolds, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Grace Coate, Patty Wolin, Ben and Noel Bruning, and Greg Gorley. B-ticket patron Joshua Bell, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Angel DeBlock, Daps Magic, and the Beyond the Railroad podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has the Matterhorn with monorail red passing below. You can see guests walking out of Tomorrowland past the yellow and purple flowers and the 3 large palm trees. On the back it reads, Matterhorn Mountain. A Disneyland landmark, the snow-capped Matterhorn Mountain towers majestically over all of the Magic Kingdom. High-speed bobsled runs carry guests down its slopes and through a glacier grotto inside the mountain. It's postmarked August 12, 1972, with the U.S. Postal Service Always Use Zip Code cancel, and a 6-cent National Parks Centennial Wolf Trap Farm, Virginia postage stamp, Scott number 1452. I assume they visit the park on Thursday, August 10, 1972, and Friday, August 11, 1972, when park hours were from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. both days. The weather was a high of 83 and a low of 65 on Thursday, and a high of 82 and a low of 66 on Friday. It's addressed to Mrs. Elsie Dressler of Portland, Oregon. It reads, Hi, enjoying the sights. Even if we had car trouble on the way down, 2 days in Disneyland and now 2 nights in San Diego, and down to Mexico, Ken's family has not seen anything of our last year. See you soon, Lee and family. Since I'm out on a work trip, let's continue our tour around the park, taking a stop at every mailbox. Today, let's start by heading down Main Street to the mailbox on the right side of the hub. Now that we've arrived at the Tomorrowland side of the hub, let's look to the east, and some of the things that we could have seen looking towards Tomorrowland over the years. In the early days, the entrance to Tomorrowland would have included flags from all the states, which in 1955 would have included 48 states, as Alaska and Hawaii were added to the Union in 1959. Looking straight down the Tomorrowland entrance, you would have also seen the world clock. This hourglass-shaped clock could tell guests what time of day it was around the world, with a globe at the top of the 15-foot structure moving throughout the day, adjusting the time and where the sun was shining around the world. This feature was removed for the new Tomorrowland of 1967. From 1967 to 1995, from this mailbox, you would have seen the People Mover starting its journey through the Adventures Through Inner Space building and making its return, leaving Circle Vision and back towards the center of Tomorrowland. Now standing there, you can still see the People Mover track, but now going into the Star Tours building and exiting out of Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters. It's interesting to note that both show buildings have existed there from the early days of the park, but have been repurposed throughout the past 70 years. Next, let's turn and head west towards a Frontierland mailbox. Add some flair to your mail by checking out stamps at Enfield Post. You can explore different stamp options on our Etsy site, grab some great deals by following the EP Sunday Sales on Instagram, or create something special and have her design a stamp array for your invitation or celebration. You can head over to EnfieldPost.com and explore all the different vintage postage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and EnfieldPost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard has the entrance to Frontierland, with guests walking across the bridge. and in the background you can see the top of the Columbia. On the back it reads, Frontierland entrance. The saga of the West is relived in Frontierland as guests enter a fort, which is a replica of one which linked the American frontiers together. It's postmarked February 13th, 1967, with 2 Los Angeles cancels, and the postage stamp has been removed. I assume they visited the park on Saturday, February 11th, 1967, when park hours were from 10 a.m. to midnight. The weather was a high of 81 and a low of 48. It's addressed to Mrs. W.B. Tate of Paradise, California. It reads, Just a card to say I had a card from Grace and Harold this AM from San Antonio, Texas. Thought they would stay there until yesterday, Sunday. They are playing golf a lot along the way and really enjoying a grand trip. We'll phone you when they arrive here. Best love, Nora. Let's move to one of the 3 Frontierland mailboxes. After walking through the fort gates of Frontierland, there's a mailbox next to the entrance of what is now the Pioneer Mercantile. The mailbox is attached to the leather store, where you can purchase personal items like leather bracelets and leather keychains. From 1956 through 1964, that booth was known as Bonecraft, where you could purchase handmade jewelry, belts, hat bands, cufflinks, and other accessories using the shin bones from cattle. To the left of the mailbox is the entrance to the Pioneer Mercantile, which connects to 2 other shops. For a few months in 1955, that entrance would have been for Davy Crockett's Frontier Museum, a collection of replica of Davy Crockett-era items, and life-size mannequins of Davy Crockett, his sidekick George Russell, and President Andrew Jackson. Looking at some old photos, guests could have their photo taken by an old-style camera with Davy and George for around $1. These figures were moved to Tom Sawyer Island and displayed at Fort Wilderness in 1956. At this time, the building changed from a museum to an arcade. This was a shopping arcade, not a gaming arcade, and it was divided out into different vendors including a leather shop, a print shop, a hat shop, a rock shop, and a shop called Mexican Imports. This is similar to the Adventureland Bazaar. In 1987, the building became Davy Crockett Pioneer Mercantile. It was then changed to feature Pocahontas merchandise and called Spirit of Pocahontas in 1996. The shop Spirit of Pocahontas shouldn't be confused with the show Spirit of Pocahontas, which played in the Fantasyland Theater. Based on a map from the first week of October 1996, the name was changed to Pioneer Mercantile, which it has continued to be to this day. Another 1955 original feature to Frontierland that you can see from this mailbox is the flagpole that is in the middle of the walkway, just past the entrance. In front of the flagpole is a dedication plaque to Walt Disney from the American Humane Association, dated 1955. My incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is a craft hour on Instagram, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 Pacific. Art Throwdown is a wonderful community of artists who love to share their craft, from creating sticker postcards and coloring techniques to intricate paper cutting and unique crafting. It's always a treat to watch a show and occasionally get some one-of-a-kind postcards from the group. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming postcard has a handmade stamped image of Times Square during New Year's Eve. There's a colorful ball dropping over the 2026 NYC and the phrases Happy New Year and Goodbye 2025 on neighboring buildings. It's postmarked January 2nd, 2026, with a Mid-Island, New York, Happy Holidays Christmas tree cancel, and a Shel Silverstein Giving Tree Forever postage stamp. It's got number 5683. It reads, Let's have an amazing 2026. Cheers, Lisa Luluvision. Thank you so much for the postcard, Lisa. As usual, I'm always amazed by my Art Throwdown artists who make some amazing art postcards, whether it's a hand-carved plate stamp, like this postcard, or a sticker postcard. Each one is a fun surprise in my mailbox. I know we are already halfway through the first month of this year, but I'm looking forward to more mail and more episodes. I hope to complete my Tour of the Park episodes by this fall, so there should be about 7 more episodes like this one. I'll piece together a full tour and try it out myself in October or November, a nice New Year's resolution or goal. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/sentfromdisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sent from Disneyland or my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent from Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney-related properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to the host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. This podcast is produced and edited by Clocky McDowell, website designed by Misty McDowell, theme song was written and performed by Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Take it away, Noah.